It is currently a very exciting time to be a Lorcana player. We've just had the full set release and we're all looking for those shiny new Bell cards and Maleficent cards or Genie cards. And while those cards might be amazing, and trust me, they are, I'm here to tell you today that some of the most important cards in the set are these commons. These commons are often the backbone of our decks. So today I'm going to show you the best commons in Lorcana so you can all rummage through your bulk box and hopefully have a ton of them ready to go to put into your decks. And if you stick around to the end of the video, you can see how you can win one of these customized ink pendants and a box of Dragon Shield sleeves as well. Simba Protective Cub. This card, in my opinion, isn't just one of the best common cards in Lorcana, it's actually one of the best cards in Lorcana, full stop. How? Well, you see, first off, Simba Protective Cub is an inkable 2-cost glimmer. This makes it useful at all points of the game, making it have a big long effect over the course of the game. But the main reason why this Simba card is absolutely cracked is because of its bodyguard ability. This lets you put it into play straight away exerted. And if your opponents want to challenge any of your glimmers, they are first going to have to go through your bodyguard glimmers first. This makes Simba amazing at protecting 1-cost 2 lore glimmers like Lilo, who is the same colour by the way, or Maleficent. This can make your early game start to get out of hand real quick and is the cornerstone of one of the best decks in format, Emerald Amber. Not bad for a common, eh? Maleficent Sorceress. This card, in my opinion, is seriously underrated. Not only is it an inkable, which I love, but it's also a 3-cost 2, meaning you can get it into play quite early, and its 2/2 stats are respectable. The ability Cast My Spell is what makes Maleficent great though, since when you put it into play you can draw a card. In Lorcana, draw power is very limited, so draw as easy as Cast My Spell you have to take very seriously. Yzma Alchemist. In a similar vein to Maleficent, but Yzma is here for her insane early game draw power potential. You see, Yzma is a 2-cost inkable glimmer with 2/2 stats. Not bad, decent. Your Excused ability, however, lets you, when Yzma quests, look at the top card of your deck. And if you like it, put it back. If you don't like it, put it to the bottom. This lets you filter out cards that you don't want and keep the ones you do. Not bad. Friends from the Other Side. This is in contention of being one of the best cards in the game. Seriously, and it's a common card too. A 2-cost draw that lets you draw 2 cards is insane, especially if you get a glimmer to sing it for free, which is very manageable, allowing you to draw a load of cards if used in combination with Maleficent or even other Friends from the Other Side. Tinkerbell most helpful. I am stunned that this card is a common, as again this is a card you might see in the Emerald Amber top tier deck. It is a 4-cost inkable glimmer with 2/3 stats. Now while these might not sound like the greatest, it has the evasive tag, and this is what we are most interested in. This makes Tinkerbell immune to challenging unless it's by another glimmer that has the evasive tag too. This means Tinkerbell is much more likely to stick around for a long time. And with 2 lore, this can start to get out of hand for your opponent real fast. And Tinkerbell can actually give one of your other glimmers evasive for the rest of your turn too. So that means you can slam into any of your opponent's evasive threats, removing them from the board, making for a very good time. Peter Pan Never Landing. Think of everything I just said for Tinkerbell, but have a more aggressive version that has higher strength output with 1 less lore. Not a bad card. And while we are with the evasives, shout out to Pongo for making this list too. Same stats as Tinkerbell, but with red ink. Sudden Chill. This is a cheap 2-cost inkable song card that makes your opponent discard a card from their hand. This can be backbreaking if your opponent has a low hand size already, really limiting them in what they can do. Think of a scenario where you play 2 of these in one turn to get your opponent down to a 0-card hand. Madness. Mufasa, King of the Pride Lands. Mufasa is a beefcake common card with 6, 4, 6 stats. These are absolutely monstrous, and with 3 lore too. Definitely deserves a slot in your binder. Mickey Mouse Detective. Blue decks love to ramp as much ink in play as soon as possible, so your build around Belle can have 5 lore, and then you can just, easily win the game. And Mickey Mouse Detective is the backbone of that deck engine, allowing you to put the top card of your deck in your inkwell when you put it into play. No doubt this is a fantastic card, so make sure you sift through your bulk and keep a playset in your binder. Captain Hook Forceful Duelist. This is no doubt the most aggressive one-drop card in the game, applying a ton of early game pressure to your opponent's glimmers, and has 3 solid words being villain, pirate and captain, which I'm sure will be relevant as future sets come out. Simba Future King. Future King might also be one of the best one-cost glimmers outside of Lilo and Maleficent. Not only is it inkable, but with its guess what ability, you can draw a card and then discard a card. This lets you gather resources at all points in the game, which in a game like Lorcana, where draw is really limited, this can get out of hand. Break is pretty much one of the only way to remove items from play. Not only that, but it's a cheap cost and it's inkable too. Fire the Cannons! Fire the Cannons provides terrific early game pressure on your opponent's glimmers. Dealing 2 damage on a 1 cost is really good value. And you can also combo this with Rare Captain Hook, so you can loop these really easily at all points in the game. Beast's Mirror. With still not having many straight draw effects, without discarding as well, this can allow you to draw for turn, ink it or play it. And after that you can use the draw from mirror to ink or play that card. The more you have in play, the better the effect can be, letting you get out of some very dicey scenarios. Develop your brain. I'm always a fan of 1-cost actions, especially ones that have some of the best names on a card I've ever seen. I'm also an even bigger fan of 1-cost actions that let you draw cards too. This lets you look at the top 2 cards of your deck and put 1 to the bottom. All this while being inkable too? Absolutely love to see it. Lifu. Amber loves to rush lore as fast as possible to win games, and Lifu is a cheap, easy budget way to do that. An inkable 2-cost glimmer that has 2 willpower and 2 lore. This can let you stack up easy early game lore behind Simba in combination with Lilo's if you have any. While Wardrobe doesn't boast an ability and is only 1 lore, what it does provide is Amethyst with an early game presence that really doesn't muck about outside of Rafiki. Amethyst decks love to draw cards and sort of play for the late game with high cost glimmers, like Elsa for example. This leaves them vulnerable in the early game to rushing tactics, like the Amber strategy we mentioned earlier. Wardrobe with its solid 3-4 stats can slam into opposing glimmers, providing you with a really good early game defense. Lovely. And last up is Aladdin Corner Swordsman. This is a cheap 2-cost inkable with 2 lore. This can provide an early game punch with its questing potential, especially if used in combination with bodyguards. So let me know what you think of the list. Let me know in the comments down below if you think I've missed any, and leave your suggestions for the best uncommons in Lorcana too. So if you want to win one of these customized ink pendants and a box of Dragon Shield sleeves as well, I want you to leave a comment down there with your favorite card in Lorcana. Like the video and subscribe, because I will be checking, and I'll draw in about 2 weeks. Good luck everybody.